know they beat us. They jumped out to a really big lead on us. And, you got to give them a lot of credit. They're a much improved football team. This is a great, tough environment to play in. And when this place is rocking, it's as good as any of them. So, you got to give them the credit. And like I said, I was very happy with how our guys responded in the football game. And now it's about responding to the loss. The reality is most teams don't go 12-0. Right, so let's respond, let's band together, and let's go play a better football game, play better football moving forward.
Kenny Dillingham Saturday night from Starkville, Mississippi, after ASU in just a weird game to watch, man. That game was because there was just so many little chapters to that game on Saturday night. Chapter 1, the humiliating first half.
Down 17-0.
Yeah, 17-0. And Sam Levitt couldn't complete a pass from me to you.
No.
He couldn't complete a pass from me to you.
No, listen, he's a young kid. He's like 20 years old, and the pressure absolutely got to him. And you could say he played in some big games last year, but the pressure got to him in this one. But you get down, you sleepwalk through the beginning of that game. You're down 7-0 on a 48-yard bomb. Then you're down 10-0. Then you're down 17-0. On the play with the bomb to Thompson for 47 yards. You're giving up these big plays. You're looking like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What is going on here? You come back, you make a comeback, you take the lead, you lose the game.
That's chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the comeback. Chapter 2 is you come out of the tunnel in the second half, you ram the ball down the throats of Mississippi State. I mean, every play was a run play practically outside of maybe 5 pass plays Sam Levitt had in the second half. And you regain the lead, you reestablish yourself, and you're thinking, man, you're going to sneak away with one here on this one. And then chapter 3 was the ending.
The meaning of romance. In chapter 4, you tell her, you give her just one more chance.
There were only 3 chapters. There wasn't a 4th chapter.
Wonder who wrote the book of love. I'm sorry, I'm doing my chapters.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's only 3 chapters, no 4 chapters.
Okay, no 4 chapters.
Chapter 3 was the touchdown at the end where it's the zero blitz, and there he is, and he's wide open, and a big mistake, and suddenly Mississippi State walks off the field with a win.
Yeah, it was devastating. Here's what ASU lost. They lost their clout. That's what they lost. Can they still win the Big 12 championship? Yes, of course they can. Can they still go to the playoffs? Yeah, of course they can. They lost a non-conference game in a tough environment on the road to a team that traditionally hasn't been very good in Mississippi State. You think you should have won that game, and they were favored to win that game, and they lost. What did they lose? Not everything that they want is still in front of them, okay? They got to take care of business, but it's still in front of them. What they lost is their clout. Everybody, the hype of ASU football, the excitement of being one of the top teams in the country. You lost that. It's gone now, okay? Everybody's going to look at ASU and think you're vulnerable. They're going to think you can be beat. You're going to be picked to lose some games now because of this game against Mississippi State. So, yeah, that's what you lost. You didn't lose your opportunity to win the Big 12, hang a banner, and go play in the playoffs again. You lost the clout that came with being a playoff team from last year and bringing almost everybody back.
Did you see how fast they got kicked out of the AP Top 25?
But that's what they lost.
Like that.
Yeah, sure.
They were like, whoosh, you're out. See ya. Okay. Yeah. You don't cover at home against NAU. You lose on the road to Mississippi State. You're out.
Bye.
See ya.
And that's what's lost. Now, listen, there's a belief that this team is going to play better now, because people are going to doubt them and not believe in them anymore, that there's a feeling now, okay, they'll probably play better like this than being the favorite and being the darling and being the expected team to win.
Yeah, you have to hope so. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying about the clout, and certainly I agree with everything you're saying about the Big 12 title still in front of them. It is. Everything they want to accomplish is still there. That includes the playoffs. Nothing has changed. But for long time ASU fans, who understand how this program has struggled when their expectations, that little voice in the back of your head that wonders how this program is going to do when we're facing expectations of being great, that little voice in the back of your head just got a little bit louder.
Sure.
After Saturday's game. I'm not saying it's
rightfully so.
And I'm not saying it's the dominant voice, and I'm not even saying that voice is right. I'm just saying that any ASU fan who's been paying any attention to this program at all for the last 50 years, and Kenny has talked about this. Kenny has talked about how we're battling 50 years of our own history here. Any ASU fan who understands that little voice in the back of your head that says, they never do well when they're preseason ranked, and they never do well when there's expectations. That voice just got a little bit louder in your head after Saturday night's game.
And now this team is going to go to work this week, and I'll bet you that every one of these practices is going to be money because they're going to want to get that back. They're going to want to get that back. It's like you lose a title. You're a boxer and you lose the title. You're going to work so much harder to get that back. ASU is going to work hard. I still think it's a good football team. I still think they can win the Big 12. I was watching Kansas, Missouri the other day. Kansas sucks. Like I put on Colorado for a little bit. I'm like, okay, they're winning. They're not that good.
Iowa State looked pretty good.
Colorado?
Iowa State?
Oh, Iowa State.
Iowa State looked pretty good.
Yes.
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, but ASU beat them like a drum last year.
Well,
a drum.
Last year? Okay. Which is figured out this past weekend. Last year is last year.
No, I know.
This year is this year.
I'm just saying, I think that, Oklahoma State. Did anybody watch Oklahoma State? I watched that game against Oregon.
Maloney.
Yeah, I watched that game, too.
Maloney did.
I mean, it could have been 150-3. I'm surprised that Oklahoma State kicked that field goal early in the game just to put the 3 on the board, but they're lucky they did it. We're getting shut out. They're terrible. Like, this Big 12, you can win it. ASU can win it. I still think that ASU is going to win the Big 12 and go to the play. I think that they will. I really believe that they're the best team. Nothing in that game changed my mind. The hard part is, you do question, were they prepared? What happened? How did you get down 17-0?
Oh,
I mean, a whole game. We'll talk about the adjustments.
I'll answer the question. No, they weren't prepared. Clearly.
Did they not have enough cowbells to practices last week?
You're down 17-0.
Yep.
No, you weren't prepared.
Yeah.
No, you weren't ready.
And then you question, why?
How could you not be ready?
Right.
Why was Sam not ready? Why was Sam Leavitt? And I know we're going to talk about Sam later, but I will sneak peek here.
5 of 15 for 30 yards with an interception and 2 sacks in the first half.
At one point, he was like 1 of 7 for 4 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, why Sam Leavitt, who has played in Big 12 title games, who has played in the Peach Bowl, who's played big games against
Texas,
BYU and K-State, how is he not more ready for that? And how can he not have them more ready for that? The answer to the question is yes. They were clearly not prepared for the environment that they walked into, and not just because of the cowbells, though. I'll tell you, that was damn overwhelming. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like sitting in those stands, listening to that, trying to get your work done. Just on TV, I can still hear it. You can still hear it. You can still hear it ringing in your heads. Yeah, it was obscene.
And that's on TV. Can you imagine how much
worse
it was
saying.
Right in person?
For
any Sun Devil fans were at that game, tweet me. How bad was it? The cowbells at that game. I'd love to hear from some people that were at the game how loud it was.
But when you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, when you've got one of the best you find a way. And they almost did. They almost found a way.
Almost did.
They came.
And that's encouraging.
Really close to. It's.
I'm not the doom and gloom yet. I could get there, lose a couple of conference games early. I told you I didn't think that I could find 4 losses for ASU this year.
Do you feel like that's in jeopardy now?
Well, that's one that I thought they would win.
Yes,
I thought that they would win.
I thought about you after the game.
Well, thank you.
And I was thinking, I wonder if Gambo's rethinking his I can't find 4 losses.
I couldn't find 4 losses, but I thought that they would go to Starkville and win that game.
Because I feel like it just got a lot easier to find your 4 losses. Given that they have to go to Utah.
Okay.
Given
that's going to be a tough game. That's a tough game.
Have to go to Iowa State. Given that those are the 2 that pop. Baylor, I need to see a little more on. TCU, I need to see a little more on. Baylor got the win in overtime this weekend against SMU.
They did not play that well.
Those are 2 teams I think I need to see a little more. But I thought about you, and I wondered if Gambo wants to amend his, I don't know where the 4 losses are. Because if you're losing to Mississippi State, suddenly it's a lot easier to see those losses, right? It's a lot easier to look at the schedule and go, maybe there. Maybe there. Maybe that one.
I think the key is how do they respond. And I would expect that this football team's going to respond because they know they're good and they laid an egg and now they got to come back from it.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.